Well, I never set out to be a sound person. Like most young filmmakers, I wanted to create my own films, write them, direct them, be the hero in them. But the reality is that as you begin to face getting a real career started, you have to specialize in some way. And coming out of film school, well, I'll put it this way, I actually went through school and got a degree in physics. I was very interested in science, and I wanted to be an astronaut. That was originally my choice of career. But my hobby was always movies, making little films, and then I had an interest in sound recording from my father, who had given me a small tape recorder when I was a child to play with, and I got very interested just in collecting sound. And so I had all these little skills, photography and sound. And when I was finishing film school, a few of us who wanted to get outside work while we were students found that there were available jobs doing sound editing in Hollywood, that you could work on trailers and low-budget science fiction movies, Roger Corman films. And so I started working in sound because it was an opportunity to get employment. And since I had a background in sound, I got more and more involved in it and discovered that there weren't that many people, young people, interested in sound. And here I was interested, and so I began getting more job offers to do sound. And that led to being noticed and getting a job with George Lucas on Star Wars, partly because I was young and I was cheap. I was just a student, really, had finished school, so I didn't have any preconceived notions. They could train me the way they wanted to. So I got involved in sound, even though I never lost my interest in filmmaking in general. The discovery of sounds usually begins when I see artwork of objects or characters that are going to be in the film. On Star Wars, the very first meeting that I ever had with George Lucas, I was shown paintings by Ralph McQuarrie of artwork. Here's what a Wookiee looks like, here's what the spaceship looks like, here's what a lightsaber looks like. And when I saw that painting of the lightsaber, I had immediately, I could hear a sound in my imagination. And so often I'm stimulated, or reading about it in the script, I get an inspiration. And then you do go about collecting or trying to make sounds, and there's the inevitable process of trial and error, because you have something in mind and you're searching for it. And often it takes weeks or months even to find the right sound if you have that amount of time. So it's a process of hearing it almost in your imagination and then searching for a source that gives you that result. As I grew up, I loved watching movies on television, and I began to tape record the films off television because I loved playing them back and listening on headphones. This is before there were DVRs or DVDs or anything. So for me it was entertainment, and I would spend a lot of time listening to the films over and over and over again for entertainment. I didn't realize it, but what I was learning was how sound was used to add to the drama of a movie. I was very interested in what music did, and I was very interested in the sound effects. Once again, I was interested in westerns and science fiction and Tarzan movies. And in those types of films, the sound played a magnified role. And I just got very interested in how things sounded in the movies. They didn't sound the same as in real life, actually. I discovered that there were techniques and there was a language to cinema. And so I kind of without knowing it, learn a lot of this, as I just was a lover of movies growing up. And I could carry that with me into my own work. I could, if I worked on Star Wars, when I worked on the first Star Wars, I could remember back all the different science fiction movies that preceded it. I knew them very well. So I understood what had been done. So I was in a good position to decide, here's where the frontier is, where nobody's gone. I can go past that. But recognizing the traditions and building on them, I think that's what helped my career quite a bit. That awareness of legacy.